So I'm only hiring licensed loan officers that have closed 5 deals so far going forward. But for our team here, I'm going to invest in you guys, spend time with you guys, train you guys, and I believe you could all be successful. Now, me and Alex have a goal: how much you need per day, per hour, per week, per month to hit $1 million. And that's my goal. I hope you could all hit $1 million a year. So we're going to do some of that coming up soon. But it takes basically 9 deals a month. If you could close 9 deals a month, that's $1 million. That's at about $500,000 per house. And the average purchase price for a house here in Texas is roughly $450,000, $500,000. It's actually, that's the medium range, is going up. So that means you can hit those goals very easy. Now, if we lived in Seattle and the average house is $1 million, you could hit that in 4 loans, which means it's not a bad idea to get a Washington state license and market yourself in those states. So don't chase every chicken. I think if we just focused on, this area where we can meet people, talk to people, we do just fine. If you get your wheels running, you're making money, everything's going good, and you want to, maybe double your money, extend the California license, extend the Washington license, and, do the same model that works here. Because if you don't know what works, if you haven't tried it, if you haven't closed, a simple amount of deals, you don't have, in your subconscious, you don't have the concept that you can do well, that you can do this, that this will pay you. It took me several deals to think, okay, this is a viable business. I had to get paid a few times to say, okay, wait a minute. The first one wasn't a fluke. The second one wasn't a fluke. This is a viable business. So not that it was not a viable business, it's just the psyche. Sometimes the psyche is so trained in will this work? Especially when we're wired to be W-2 employees, when we're wired to be hourly wage earners. So just make it work here. Make it work in Houston, Sugar Land, Rosenberg, whatever, and you'll be fine. You did have a question about closings, Stanley. Yes. Should we attend the closings? You should attend the closings. Number one, the old school, back when I started in 2006, they always encouraged you to go to closings, do closings as being a professional, giving good customer service. And that's true. But even beyond that, what's more important, because it's 2024, people think differently, a mindset is differently, the culture is different. You don't necessarily have to be at the closing in 2024 with this generation, But it is good to be at the closing because you want to build relationships with the title, build a relationship with the notary that's there, build relationships with maybe realtors in the lobby. Like when we closed on your home, there was realtors in the lobby. We got our card. I never called her up. I should have. But we got her card, and she was interested. She was talking to us. It looked like there was interest possibly to even work together. I forgot to call her. But when you're out in the community where people are involved in real estate, and then you get your picture. Alex's first deals came from his photos, right? He got his house, pictures of his house. Family members say, hey, I want to get a house too. Alex said, well, great, because actually I'm now a loan officer too. And so then, every time you post a picture of a new closing, people start saying, hey, I want to get a house too. I want to get a house too. So posting those pictures of those closings, you being there with your clients, they're happy. You got your signs. I made a sign for us. It's around here somewhere. Oh, can you see it? Yeah. And you know what? I ordered this 2 times. Both times, they forgot something. I'm not going to say what they forgot, but they forgot something. So they refunded me, and I have another one coming from Etsy I got. But this is a key. So, when the title companies always have their own. I said, screw theirs. Let's get our branding on there. We don't need to use theirs. Let's get our own branding. So we show up. The people that are buying their homes, they don't care what name's on it. They're just happy they got the home. They want to hold the key and, So screw First American Title. Castle Group, right? So clear to close. And sometimes when I get a clear to close, I'll just take a picture with this, I'll smile and take a picture with it, and I'll send it to them as my way of announcing that they're clear to close. Yeah, I'd be like, oh man, awesome, yeah. So anyways, yeah, you should go because you're gonna build relationships with people there. You wanna build that culture where you care about them, and that's one of the things I wanna say. Castle Group, our niche market is, if you get a loan at the bank, I'm not going to say what bank, but one bank, right? If you get a loan at a bank, it's going to be 45 days to close, 30 to 45 days, usually 45 days. You can't call after 5. Can't call Saturday, Sunday, you know what I mean? Sunday for sure, the bank's closed. Can't call after 5, that's for sure. But with us, you could call after hours, you could call 9 p.m., 10 p.m., text message, whatever time. Sunday, hey, I'm at church, I'll call you back, call them after, service. What else do you want to offer that white glove service, And that's really important because that's going to make us say like, I don't want to go to the bank. And by the way, speaking of banks, Congress is passing a law that banks are going to be required to hold a certain dollar amount per loan closed in reserves. And I forgot what it was. It could be like 2 times or 5 times or 10 times. I know it wasn't over 10 times. But to stop banks defaulting and going out of business, they passed a law that banks have to keep X amount times the loan amount that they fund. So what's going to happen, law is going to take effect. They're going to sign it, they said, next summer. And they said by 2027, this is going to be nationwide. And banks nationwide are no longer going to have originators. They're no longer going to originate loans themselves because it's going to be too costly. If a bank, say Chase, say they're doing 1,500 loans a day in the country, they're going to have those 1,500 loans capital in the bank times the amount required by the government. And they don't want that kind of capital tied up because banks make money off moving the money. So they want to tie up that capital. So which means in the next 2 years, all mortgage lending is going to be 100% done in the broker channel. So it's going to be 100% done in the broker channels, which means in the next year and a half, there's going to be major layoffs coming of loan officers in banks and so forth. Now, I'm not sure about credit unions because I know that sometimes they play by different laws. But so if you're a broker, you're in the right place because we're going to get all of that fish in our boat, okay? But besides that, we close faster. We're cheaper in the rates. We're about a point cheaper than Chase and Bank of America and Wells Fargo. We have lower rates and all that stuff. So it's really in people's best interest to go with us. And now we even have another system called TRAC, T-R-A-C, that we can use on all of our loans with UWM, UWM, where the title fees are about $700. Average title fees, are like $6,500, $7,500, $8,500. Our title fees using TRAC are $700 with this new program that we have. So that means before they had to come cash to close with 30 grand, 20 grand, 40 grand, now they could come with $6,000, $7,000 less, So that's a great new program. So really the broker channel is a place to be. Simply for just an introductory training, the most important thing I can tell you, everything else you'll learn. But the most important thing I can tell you is you live and die by your spreadsheet, by your pipeline. Because you're talking to so many people, so many scenarios, so many credit scores, so many people have a house pending sale, have a divorce, have a bankruptcy, they have a this, that. They have so many intricate moving parts. In every loan, if you're not putting the dates and you're not putting their scenarios daily, you're going to be a terrible customer service provider, a terrible service provider. Because you're not going to remember the deals, you're not going to remember where they're at, you're not going to be timely. It's very important. You have to have in here the date is going to close, the date that they filled out the app, the date you asked them for their W-2s, the date they send you the W-2, the date you're asking for their tax returns. You have to have all that dated so you could quickly go on your phone, go in your Google Drive that we set up for you guys, and you could just pull up your spreadsheet. and say, okay, I got to call Jorge back. Oh, I got to call, Nung back. Yeah, interning. So it's all in your Google Drive. Yeah, I know you've been in your Google Drive. I know you're in your Google Drive all the time. But it's especially in your Google Drive. And it has a box for every single thing. Closing date, credit score, address, amount of the purchase property, the bank you want to put it to, so on. So you got to live and die by your pipeline. That's the most important thing. I've got to drill into you guys all the time. And I'll be going in your Google Drive, checking, and Alex will be going in checking to make sure that you're updating your pipeline, because we can't help pick up your slack if you're slacking if you're not updating the pipeline. So like, and I also check who's checked in their emails. I go in there and I see who's looking at their emails. Because if you're getting emails, I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars. We're talking about $1 million deals. People if you screw up a loan, people are literally could be on the street. All the time, people are moving out of their house because they sold their house. The loan hasn't closed, not in our company, but other companies. And they're sitting in a hotel. Their family, their kids, and their dog are on their mother's floor because the loan was too slow moving. Yes, yeah, it happened to me. Oh, and then you didn't even close. Happened to me. We're dealing with people's earnest money. Some people 30 grand down. I've had guys with 30 grand down earnest money. They don't get it back if they don't close. They might have to be on the street with their wife and their kids. We have to date the loan. What's going on? Where is it at? I got an email from Brittany today. Not from her, but about her loan. It's one of his clients. Oh, the loan's not been moving forward. We're canceling the loan. It's not been moving forward. No docs provided. So I immediately called the bank. I said, what's going on? They said, oh, it's an auto-fire email. It's actually, we have all the documents. It's been submitted. Don't worry about it. It was just an auto-fire from the bank, Oh, my God. It scared me.
No, we're making a heart attack. Hold on.
We submitted everything.
No, I know. It was just an auto-fire. Sometimes the banks auto-fire emails. So it was an auto-fire email, but God forbid that happens on my watch because I'm on top of my SHIP, my ship. I'm on top of my ship. I'm on top of my ship as much as I can be, right? I have 7, 8 loans right now, all in closing in the next couple weeks. So I'm every day, 5, 6 times a day, I'm going through my dates. Did I forget to call somebody? Did I forget to get an email? Am I still waiting for an insurance quote? Am I still waiting for a W-2? And I'm going through all that, right? Is there still a LOX that needs to be written, which is a letter of explanation? Why do you have credit inquiries? Why were you late on your car note last month? Why were you, all these letters of explanation banks request, am I just on top of my ship, right? Because these are people's livelihoods, right? And when you do good, trust me, if a deal goes bad and it's not your fault, everyone blames you. They don't look at the realtor. They don't look at the builder. Everyone blames the bank, the loan lender. I don't know why. I don't like that, but everyone blames you. Yeah. Everyone blames me, so I want to make sure that they know I was on top of it. I was there. You got my emails. You got my updates. You saw I was on top. I was calling you, Now, obviously, in situations where you got a loan that is owner-occupied and you're not licensed, so you're going to just be an assistant on that, and then I'm doing the loan. But we're going to be late pushing you to do that. Okay. So if you're dropping the ball, it's your fault because it's your responsibility to do that, So, but we live and die by the pipeline. And let's have Alex, could you come up and maybe say a little bit of your experience and advice for people just getting started here?
Yeah, so since I've been working, number one point that I've seen that helped me a lot is our business cards. We need to use the business card.
Yeah, that's true.
Hand them out. Give them out to people, whoever you meet. If you're at a Starbucks, if you're at a gym, just hand them out because you don't know who needs a loan. That's the way I met Joey. He was at the gym. Where were we? In the sauna? In the jacuzzi.
In the jacuzzi. I ran in my locker, yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking, and he mentioned that he's a loan officer, and I was just like, hey, I need a loan. And then a few months passed, and then we just decided to proceed, and we ended up getting the house. So,
Yeah, after I gave you my information on Instagram,
yeah,
I didn't hear from you for months.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah, months passed by, but then when I got financially stable, I looked for him, and it took 3 weeks to close on the house. Right, 3 weeks,
Yeah.
roughly? So, there's a lot of people, all my clients that I have now in the pipeline, I have 3 clients, they're all from 6 months back. They're all from January, December times. Because they called me, I put them in the pipeline, and they said, okay, we'll call you back when we're ready. The time passed, and look, they're already submitted, they already applied, and it's underway. So it's important, give out your cards, have people in your pipeline, save their info, keep tabs on them, call them, look after them, you know. That puts pressure on them also. That gives them sort of a, okay, let's do it, you know. This guy's calling me. Yeah.
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 Look at my
So
shit.
what do you follow up with them, like every week? Every
No,
two
not
months?
every week, maybe a month, once a month. If you see they're not that interested, just be like, hey, how's it going? You still interested? Just so they can bring it back to their mind, you know.
Gotcha.
And another thing I wanted to say, we need to work together. I call this guy all day, and he calls me. He sends me texts at 3:30 in the morning, and I reply like not even, because we don't sleep. We don't sleep. You know, this business, if you want it to grow and flourish, you gotta be centered. You can't be distracted. You gotta be centered, because whatever business you put your time into, it's gonna work. So if you're serious and you dedicate your time, it will work. Like anything you do, if you put time in it, you'll perfect it. But it's important that we work together as a team, because I want to help you. As a team, as Castle Group, we cannot give a bad impression to people. So if you're struggling with a loan, or if you're struggling with a client, you know, call me or call Joey, and we'll talk to the client together. Hey, I'm not sure about your question, talk to my broker. You know, you call Joey, or call me if Joey can't answer. And if there's something that a client can't figure out with their loan, maybe they need a paper, maybe they need a letter of explanation, maybe they need something. We need to be that. We can't just let them do it. Because if we let them do it, they're just going to give up and just forfeit the loan.
Yeah.
But if we do it for them, they feel that, okay, he's doing it for me, let's proceed. So sometimes they don't know how to fill out a letter of explanation, or they don't know how to get a form from their child support. You know, we got to be that helping hand and just tell them what to do, give them strength, give them confidence, and we need to strengthen each other, because sometimes I feel, when they ask me a question and I don't know, I won't tell them I don't know, I'll just say, hey, let me call you right back. I'll call Joey,
I see.
I'll get the answer, and then I'll call them back, because we don't want to look like we don't know what we're doing.
Absolutely. But I tell you, it is better to tell somebody, this from my experience, it is better to tell somebody, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I find out. I would rather give you the right
Exactly.
information to get some line,
Yeah.
give you the wrong.
Exactly.
Give an automatic response, right?
Don't overpromise
Yeah.
things to people.
Never.
Don't. That's something I learned.
With a little.
Yeah. You know, never say anything in 100% guarantees until you know for sure you got it. Because I can't promise somebody, hey, your payment's going to be $3,000 on an $800,000 loan.
Yeah.
So, all that aside, we need to work together. We need to communicate with each other. If we're struggling with something, that's what we're here for. To bounce ideas off each other, to figure out what they need, and let's do it, guys. It's very important. We got to grow this business. Our plan is to expand.
Yeah.
We need to expand. We need to grow. We have a tremendous tool with the banks that we have, and the access that we have, and the LOS support, and over 200 banks we could use. I haven't seen anybody anywhere in California, Florida,
Yeah.
Texas. I never heard of a business like this. We're sitting on the gold mine. We just need to dig, basically. If we don't dig, we're not going to get the gold. But we have all the tools. We have all the capacity to do it. So we just need to push forward and start seeking our deals, right?
Yeah, the tool that you showed me like way back, where you spoke to other banks. What is that tool called again?
LOS support.
LOS support. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
if there's any questions about anything specific, we can ask them, right? We can
Yeah.
provide it.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, LOS support, I called them, before Joey even knew, I was just playing around, because, he sent me all these credentials, all these logins, so I was just, okay. I logged in, and I contacted this mortgage called Jet Mortgage. And I talked to the lady, I got on the FaceTime with her, I was just asking her questions, and she made me credentials with her bank. This was a few months back. And then Joey, recently, he says, okay, we're gonna start working with Jet Mortgage. I'm just like, oh, I know them. He's like, what do you mean?
Shocked, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I know them. I have a good relationship with the AE, the account executive. I think his name was Jamie or something. And I started talking to the account executive of Jet Mortgage, and he's cool. So we're developing relationships with these banks that will help us, even if we're stumped on something.
Right.
We can log into loan officer support, get on webcam with the managers, or call them up, tell them what the problem, and they'll help us figure the
That's amazing
whatever
support.
issue.
That is
Yeah.
amazing support.
Yeah.
Whatever clients we can help them even with insurance, with title, and with realtors. My brother, he's a realtor. I got him signed up, and I want to use him for Castle Group, and we want to extend that realty branch into like Castle Group Realty also. So we have everything basically in one. So
Yeah, the vision is
to have
a
expand.
Castle Group title, Castle Group Realtors. It's a one-stop shop.
So we can get the clients everything they need in this one place.
Yeah, and 3 is a very small goal. Now, keep in mind, we're in a slow market. All of our business is purchases. You do any research, talk to any mortgage people, look at the numbers online, you'll find out 90% of mortgage people's businesses is refinances.
Yeah. Refinancing, gotcha. Yeah.
We're 100% purchase business, meaning blue ocean. We're actually reaching new clients, first-time home buyers, the ones that the banks aren't reaching. Because these people, I closed a loan yesterday. Guess what the credit score was?
Go ahead.
Guess.
482.
580, 482. You're good, you're closer.
550.
It was 516. He had a credit score of 516.
Wow.
Can he get approved for a car?
Can't even get a car for that. And he had another house too that hasn't sold yet. And tons of lates on all of his bills, all kinds of lates. But we have more tools than anyone in the country has.
Yes, that's the
So we have a couple of guys that do manual underwrites up to down to 500 credit score. It wasn't a VA, it was a normal loan, but we got manual underwrite down to 500 credit scores. So we did a manual underwrite. We had to write a letter of explanation of why he was late, for a couple years. He was late for 2 years, just competitively and car notes late, credit cards late, just all kinds of lates everywhere. I think there was 16 lates, 16 different companies that have multiple lates. And so he had to explain his mother back in Pakistan. She was ill, and he was sending money for her hospital bills, her medicines. And so he was taking care of her the last 2 years. It was hard for him. But now he's stabilized. He actually paid off all those accounts. He's back on his feet now. And he's stabilized. So he wrote them a letter. It's a manual underwrite. So they read it. They said, okay, looks like he's consistent. He has paid back his bills. He hasn't been late on anything for the last 3 or 4 months. He has savings now, so we got him the house. It was a miracle. And matter of fact, there was a lot of things that were needed last minute, and the bank said you can't close within a certain time frame. You have to wait X amount of days because of laws and different things. But because I had a good relationship with the banker, we've been sending a lot of business with them, a good relationship, I said, listen, I need you to help me out. We cannot go past today. We need a same-day closing. The day that it clears a close, we need the title to close it on the same exact day. So now they don't allow that. But she got to the supervisors, talked to the supervisors, hit a home run for us. We got the clear to close at 12 and balanced this paperwork, the CDs, got the note out, and funded the loan in 3 hours, from 12 to 3. By the time I got there late. I got there at 4 because of rush hour. They got that loan done before I could even drive from here to Katy because it was rush hour. By the time I got there, they said the loan's already been dispersed. The paperwork's already signed.
Wow. How did you build that?
516 credit score.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Which bank did you use?
EPN.
Okay. How did you build that relationship? What's
We've been working with EPM now for, 2 years, Yeah, I've sent them a lot of deals, sent them a lot of deals, talk every day. Just like he calls me every day, guess what? I'm calling the UWM guy every day. And we could do that with UWM. It's called Loan Shield. So for example, I think it's 0.375 to the rate. So if they have a 6%, it'll be 6.375. Then the UWM will keep the loan with them for 5 years. And the benefit of that is because when you go to refinance, they'll streamline it. It'll be little to no closing cost on that, So that's something we can market too. Like Bank of America, we say, listen, if you close with us, we're not going to sell your loan off. We're going to service it for you for the next 5 years. Yeah. So, yeah. So we can market that. So there's tons of things you're constantly going to learn when you're marketing. Are you guys getting emails at all from the banks?
No.
Do you get any emails from any banks from us?
The only email is from you whenever you show us these.
We're going to have the banks emailing you their highlights. And you could just copy and paste those highlights. You could read them and just re-say them to your customers. I mean, that's the best way, easiest way to do it. Because their programs are your programs. What they do, you do. So they say, we're now doing only 1% down. Now we're doing 100% financing.
Yeah, I've been seeing you send that stuff.
Yeah, I send you once in a while. If it's something like really interesting, I'll send to you guys, yeah. And we do 100%. So we do down payment assistant, no money down. We do that,
Do we have a 3, 4, and 6% percentile, or what is that rate?
Well, there's different kinds. There's a government DPA where, it's forgivable.
And then they got USD.
Yeah. But then we also have one where you don't have to be low income. You don't have to be struggling. We'll do a 100% loan, but it's not going to be forgivable. You're going to have to pay it. And it's going to be a little higher rate. So instead of, say, 6.75, it might be 7.25. But you don't have to have no money to, just have your closing costs. That's it, Well, like Alex said, we have the best technology software in the business in our greater company, our wider company.
Yeah, it's the first time seeing it myself.
Most resources. Really, we have what we need to do to make $1 million each. So, okay, there's a lot more stuff, but I don't want to take up your whole day, all right? So we'll go into 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 later on. But right now, the most important thing is I want to just talk to you guys about your center pipeline. Next week's sales meeting, I'll run you through the website, how to pick your banks, how to pick your lenders, how to get on the phone with them, talk to them. Honestly, your most and best training, all of your training should come from the banks. They're getting paid a salary. They're sitting on their chair all day long, just waiting to talk to us. And they're a wealth of knowledge and experts in their products. So if you want to call them and ask them questions. Hey, I have a client. This is what they want to do. Can you help me with it? Yes or no? Get on the phone with them. Get on the phone face-to-face with them. With our software, you could actually you talk to them face-to-face. That's the model. It's face-to-face. It's through Zoom. And you don't have to go on, open up Zoom. You just go directly into our website, Loan Officer Support, click the Zoom icon on their face,